Hello beautiful souls and welcome to my channel Roseology. So today's video is a little bit different than most of the videos that I do because I'm basically just I've already pulled some cards here. Probably going to be shuffling a couple more on camera. I basically just wanted to do this video. I've been getting a lot of requests to do a video on the state of the world, exactly what's happening, things like that. And it wasn't really something that I was interested in talking about or wanted to talk about. And then this morning, just a message downloaded to me, and I knew I had to share it with you guys. So this reading is not necessarily about the cards. This is more of a channeled reading. I'll be showing you guys the cards that I did end up pulling as far as the state of the world a little bit later on, or maybe somewhere throughout this video. This video is not very organized. This is so out of my realm of the norm, basically, that I really don't know how I'm gonna do this video. I'm just gonna do it, and hopefully these words will bring you guys some peace right now. There's a lot going on, and I do also want to say too, before we get started here, that this video is not about the disease that is going around, the virus that's spreading. I want to make that very clear. There's a lot more happening in the world than just this virus, and these are things that are more than likely going to continue to happen, and that's what I want to address today, basically, because we're going to need to really be able to maintain our peace throughout the course of this year and the future. So I will be addressing the virus, but this video is not about the virus, which is exactly why as well I didn't even want to include I don't want to even say the name of this virus in this video. That's why I didn't include it in the thumbnail or the title of this video, the description. I don't even want to type it in because I don't want to be a part of this machine, this propaganda that is really pushing this thing. And I understand why, I don't believe that everything in the media is trying to make us afraid, but I think the media understands that there's people that hear one little thing and boom, they're feeling threatened. Their safety is feeling threatened. Their security is feeling threatened. And, there's a lot of people that are struggling with this because they've never been able, or they've never really had to deal with something like this before. And we haven't really been training. The average person has not been training in terms of how to deal with something like psychological warfare, because that's exactly what this is, and this has been going on for a long time. So that's really what we're going to be talking about today, despite the virus, because I'm not a doctor, because I don't want anyone to not take this serious. I do believe 1000% that there is an actual infection virus going around. As to why this virus is going around, that's where it gets shaky. In my opinion, no one knows where this started. No one knows how this came about. So that for me is the weird part about all of this. And so, yeah, we're just going to be sort of talking today, looking at these cards, and I'm going to be sharing with you guys my channeled message. So let's just get started with this. There probably won't be a meditation because, like I said, this is just so random. But yeah, so the message that I got here is the reason there's so much fear right now is because we are basically talking about the inevitable. The inevitable is being brought up in the conversation now. Normally, we're allowed to avoid and ignore, if we choose to. We're normally allowed to avoid these sort of things, by traveling here and there, going here and there, watching TV, keeping up with this and that. But there's hardly any distractions anymore. So what we're dealing with is very forceful energy. And we've been dealing with this for a couple of years now because Saturn and Pluto have been conjunct for the last almost 2 years now. Now, Saturn is the planet of materialism, the tangible 3D plane, the archetypal realm. In other words, Saturn is our real life. Saturn deals with the tangible plane, so this is when energy finally manifests into the last form, which is physical form, like flesh and bone, our homes, money, contracts, governments, anything that you can interact with the five senses. And Pluto rules regeneration, transformation, which sounds amazing, right? But Pluto only brings transformation through death. So basically, Pluto holds up the prize, the reward. He sort of dangles this carrot in front of our face. It's the thing that we want the most, but we have to go through death in order to obtain it when we're dealing with Pluto. But once we battle Pluto, who is the representation of our worst fears because he is the darkest planet. He's the furthest planet from our sun. So once we deal with Pluto, this is us encountering the scariest demon that we have, which is ourself. The darkness that knows us so well because it is us. But once we overcome it, we find so much more power. So with Saturn being physical, right? This is physical, the material, and Pluto being the ultimate darkness. This is our world, environment, and reality going dark. Us experiencing the darkest, least acknowledged parts of ourself and humanity, because humans, we share a collective consciousness. So this isn't just our shit coming to fruition. This is the world's darkness coming into frame that we're dealing with. So this was the end of that 34-year cycle of karma, because Saturn and Pluto only meet up once every 34 years. And the sun, our sun, the brightest thing in our sky, the thing that we cannot avoid. So the sun, the brightest thing in our sky, met that Saturn and Pluto conjunction, which is the ultimate material darkness and death this past January 2020. So whatever we did during the last 34 years, we are reaping it right now. This is spirit and the universe trying to make us accountable as a species and as a people, trying to get us to look at our actions and don't think that each of us hasn't contributed to the way that the world is. Yes, we have. Now, when I say that we've all contributed to the state of the world, I mean that we're all responsible for it. Are we all to blame for it? No, but we all are responsible for each other. We are our brothers and sisters' keeper, okay? We are. That's our duty as a people. That's why we're all connected. And you can argue with that all you want, but the reality of this is we are all having to deal with this. You might not be affected by it, but we are all having to face this. We're all having to acknowledge this. So there's a difference there. But if we want to push the world into a new direction, this is spirit saying to push yourself in that new direction. We've been allowed to do things just to get ahead, or just to survive, or just to have fun, or just for the simple hell of it. So many of us have been living blindly, just doing things just to do them the last 3.5 decades. That sort of gluttony and greed is going to have a reckoning. It was always supposed to have a reckoning. We are having this reckoning right now. So this is forceful energy because it is forcing us to look at it, to deal with it, to deal with the actions, the past actions of the last 3.5 decades. I told you guys that there's a line in the sand being drawn between those that have found internal refuge and those that rely on the external world to validate their comfort, safety, and security. If you have not been able to locate security within the self, this is going to be a very tough road. One of my mom's friends, and these two women are so gifted. My mom and her friend, they are so gifted. I honestly would not believe people like them existed in the world if it wasn't for one of them being my mother and me growing up around this my entire life. But my mom's friend, she said over a decade ago, but she said back then they were praying and she had this really vivid vision that the world was in complete chaos, but God's children were calm, peaceful. Reminds you a lot of the verse Psalms 91, how it says that 10,000 people may fall at my right hand, but I'll be shielded by the wings of God. And I'm really paraphrasing this, by the way. But she said that God's children were untouched, unmoved, unfazed, witnessing the world in chaos, but chaos could not touch them, because we have conquered chaos. When I think of God's children, I don't just think about Christians or Catholics or spiritual people, because there's a lot of people in church that still haven't located God. There's a lot of people in spirituality still thinking that they need sage to cleanse a home. God lives within us. We are a fraction of God. Just like you are a fraction of your biological parents, you are a byproduct of them, right? We are a byproduct of the creator, the most high, source, the all, the universe, spirit, whatever it is you want to call it, the divine. We are a byproduct of this very extremely intelligent divine being. God is within and without. You can find God whether you can go to church or not, whether you have sage or not. God's children, in my opinion, it has nothing to do with religion. It has nothing to do with culture, race, age, gender. It has nothing to do with any of the worldly things. God is beyond the world. For the people that have encountered chaos and have defeated it, we know how to maintain our peace because we know how to find it. We've gone through turbulence, we've gone through storms, and we have still found our peace. We're still maintaining, we're still standing, we're still here. And if anything, we're stronger, we're smarter, we're better, we're faster. We're more evolved now. So the reason why God's children can't be touched by chaos is because we have looked at chaos in the face and we've defeated it. We've dealt with it. We encountered our own demons. We encountered the scariest thing that you can encounter, ourself. And that's why we're not necessarily touched by different chaotic things that go on, disruptions, disturbances, turbulence. We're not really affected because it's like been there, conquered that. Very many of us have not dealt with a health crisis like this in our lifetime, but we have dealt with chaos before. We have dealt with anxiety, with fear, with mayhem and havoc. So these are things that we learn over time and over life, how to deal with, how to cope with them. So not every situation needs to look the exact same, but as far as the emotional symptoms that come with it, we have dealt with these things before and we know how to deal with them. With us reaping these last 34 years, basically, of karma, it's not about whose fault it is. Who planted the seed that we all are harvesting now? We do inherit the sins of our parents and the ones that came before us, because it's not about being fair. It's about balancing the scales. We inherit these sins to keep us accountable and in check. The universe doesn't make us inherit the sins of those that came before us to punish us, but to keep us accountable. So we can be aware of the fact that whenever I do something, someone and something else that is innocent has to reap this, has to reap my actions, choices, and decisions. The universe is urging us to realize that, to become more accountable, so we realize that our actions, decisions, and choices affect everyone, whether they are innocent or not. At the same time, the universe could care less if we get that lesson or not, because it's going to keep doing what it has to do. So it's not about whose fault it is. This is all about us righting a wrong, balancing the scales. No wonder I received a message from my aunt a few videos ago. I don't remember which one it was. It might have been the new moon in Aquarius. But she came through, and for those of you that seen that video, you'll know what I'm talking about. She came through and she asked us a question. And I didn't really necessarily understand it then. I did, but now it makes a lot more sense. But the main question that she asked was, can you live with the decisions, actions, and choices that you have made in your past? And now I completely see what she was saying. I back then it was more so of like a personal thing, because the whole world wasn't being like ravaged by this virus yet. But it's interesting now looking at that. And you guys can check that video out. I'll link it down in the description below here if you want to check that out. But basically, we are all responsible for righting this wrong. So arguing about who did what will get us nowhere. The question is now, what will we do now that we have realize that we can't run from our actions and decisions? Now that we realize we cannot run from our parents' actions and decisions, our children cannot run from our own actions and decisions. We can no longer run or turn a blind eye to our peers' actions and decisions. Random thought, but looking back at it now, doesn't getting pissed about somebody kneeling at an NFL game just sound so trivial and small? Like, will we even care about that now? Like, now they're like canceled or something, right? Or maybe the NFL isn't playing anymore right now, but just thinking back on that, such a random thought, but people were so in arms about it. They were so pissed about it. How dare you kneel at my, NFL game? And it's like, this is what we were wasting energy on back then. Like, how dumb does that seem to be wasting energy on that now? Now we should be preserving our energy. Now, these powers that be that rule this worldly plane, these are not good powers. These are powers that have been allowing greed and gluttony to ravage the earth. And this is why we're at where we're at right now. These powers that be, they've been harvesting our energy by making us fear, or by making us angry, or by making us love something. They've been harvesting our energy because they know that fear, anger, and love are three of the strongest motivators. These are also tools to control people, which is why we have got to get our emotions under control. Love, fear, anger, those are emotions. We have to get them under control. They have been controlling us. These powers that be have been controlling us by pushing out whatever they push in the media. It's psychological warfare. That's how they won the 2016 elections as well. But fuck politics. This is how they've been controlling us for decades, for centuries even. Finding the fraction of God that lives within us is so extremely important, because that means that we have found a multitude, an infinite well of peace. There is no fear when you connect back to that source. And without you being able to be influenced and manipulated by the world to feel anger, fear, or love, they cannot control you. Your energy is unharvestable. I don't think that's a word, but it is. When you have your own emotions under control, they can't feed on you. There's no feeding frenzy. When you have locked down yourself, your own energy is locked down. You're like, no, you can't get a bit of me. You can't even be detected as a source because you are neutral, not apathetic. You're just impartial. You're indifferent. It's just a nice baseline of I'm just here. I'm not doing up and down with my emotions like this. When you're doing that, when we are spiking up, there's usually what? A come down, right? There's usually a crash. And when there's a crash, we're trying to figure out how to get back up there again. No, we're not actually trying to figure out how to get back up there. That's an illusion. That's a game. That's a lie. Actually, what we're trying to figure out is how to maintain, how to be consistent, because consistency translates as survival, security, and comfort to us humans. It translates as stability. Stability is something we can find firm ground with. And guess what? Stability is the year that we are in, because this is the year 2020. 2020 reduces to the number 4. 4 is the number that vibrates on the frequency of stabilization. I told you guys months ago that things are going to come in this year and try to destabilize us. This is not going to be an easy year, because there's going to be things that come in and try to destabilize us, as well as there's going to be things that come in and try to stabilize us. But the thing that happens when you detach from that machine, when you detach from this worldly plane, when you detach from this game, basically, or when you detach from this external environment and plug into your own internal source, you tap into a peace that you cannot find anywhere else on this world. And that is how you detach from the world, because you realize there is nothing on the face of this planet that can give me what it is that me connecting with me gives me. That's how we find God. Things are shutting down right now, you guys. I told you guys a few videos ago that not that spirit was turning its back on us, but basically that spirit was saying, okay, you're going to have to take care of yourself. And then schools started closing, churches are closing, grocery stores, all these things are sort of closing. And it's like, we have to sort of figure out how to do these things on our own, how to really survive on our own. But when it comes to like things like church and these spiritual places, you might not be able to run to the store and buy your sage. You might not be able to run to the store and buy crystals for a little bit. You might not be able to run to church and pray. We have to figure out how to do these things on our own, in our own home, in our own bodies. We have to figure out how to find that peace on our own. This is what I was talking about. For those of you that have been on your own path, on your own journey, you understood me a long time ago. Matters of fact, you didn't even need me to say none of this. Y'all were already prepared for this. This is for the people that are getting hit upside the head right now. Like, what the hell just happened? If you're wondering what is happening, you probably haven't been on that journey, and that's okay if you haven't been on that journey. It's fine. None of us were always on this journey. I just got on my own spiritual journey 2 years ago. These are not things where it's like you need to feel ashamed because you didn't know. There's nothing wrong with that. A lot of us found spirit. A lot of us found God by not knowing. That's how a lot of us found this sense of peace and divinity, right? When they are harvesting us, it's easy for us to be controlled by them. If they say jump, we say how high. Tanking the stock markets while simultaneously securing toilet paper companies for the next 5 years, right? We do exactly what they want us to because we were being herded like animals. When we were plugged into them and their machine, we were being herded around like animals on a farm, waiting to be harvested. When we unplug from that machine and we plug into ourselves, we're no longer able to be harvested, but instead now we are getting fueled by cosmic enlightenment. Whatever you are plugged into is what you are being fed by. If you are plugged into the material world, you're being fed by the material world, and whatever happens with the material world is going to happen to you. Whatever happens to whatever it is you're plugged into, whatever happens to that source is going to happen to you. I even mentioned that in that same video. This was back in December of 2019. I told you guys, don't sign up for this thinking that they're your healers. Don't sign up for this thinking that I am your healer. That's why I always press it on you guys like, I am not your healer. I do not have your answers. You're the one with the answers, not me, not some other healer, not some other tarot reader. You guys know I push this all the time. You need your source to be you. You need to stabilize you. You need to depend on you. You need to heal you. And we are able to do that. We need to prevent what's happening, not cure it. This isn't about quick fixes anymore. The universe wants responsible players. Animals are evolving with the times, and they are teaming up or mating with the strongest of their species. Do not get weeded out in this, because you are here for a reason. We need you. So please do not get harvested by this. Do not give yourself up to them when us, the people, spirit, and the universe needs you more than they do. These powers that be that rule this worldly plane, to them, you're just another crop on a farm, a barcode. That's what our social security number is. That's what we are to them, a number. but to spirit. We are this uniquely crafted, divine, multidimensional being. Okay, so we need to be responsible and accountable and prevent, not cure, but prevent. Prevention is the only cure. And like I said, this is the reason why I'm not just talking about this virus, because this is bigger than this virus. This virus is making us realize, damn, something's happening. Something is happening. This virus is just stopping us, making us realize that there's some things we need to change up here. There's definite things we need to change up. But this is the universe and spirit's way of stopping us and going, hey, wait, you know what? You're missing things. There's some things that you need to focus on. There's some things that you need to be more responsible for, more accountable for, right? Vitamins, minerals, greens, vegetable fruits. These are the things that we need. Orange juice, zinc, multivitamins, vitamin C, garlic, ginger, elderberry, turmeric, citrus fruits, red bell peppers, almonds, spinach, broccoli, even essential oils you can use in your diffuser. Some really good essential oils to really help build the immune system is because, like I said, this is all about prevention. So we need to really focus on building up our immune system, because whatever's happening, whether this is actually, the result of 5G, us bringing 5G into the fray, I don't know what this is. I don't know where this came from, and I'm not going to pretend to know where this came from, and I'm not going to make assumptions about it, because I want people to take their health serious. This is all about getting accountable and responsible, right? So this is not about debunking anything that's going on. This is about responsibility. Essential oils that you can use to help build your immune system would be things like lemon, eucalyptus, rosemary, tea tree, cinnamon, frankincense, some hertz that you can listen to it at night as you're sleeping. 285 hertz and 10,000 hertz really helps build immune health and immune support. 741 hertz music cleanses infections and rids toxins from the body, as well as drinking some apple cider vinegar or kombucha, drinking a shot of this a day. Now, please dilute your apple cider vinegar. These things can help remove parasites and toxins from the gut. We hold a lot in our gut, right? And fear overall, you guys. People are literally saying it's okay to be scared. Fear is stress to the body. Stress releases a chemical called cortisol. Cortisol weakens our immune system, greatly weakens it. We are much more susceptible to anything and everything that is floating around in our atmosphere when we are stressed out or afraid, and our bodies can't protect us when we are stressing it out. We need to build up our bodies, but we also need to build up our emotional and mental health, you guys. Everybody was so spiritual when everything was fine, right? Coachella hadn't been postponed yet. Everything was fine. When everything is fine, people are able to be zen and spiritual. It's just love and light, you guys, People are literally saying positive vibes, positive thinking won't save you. Stop telling people to not be afraid. That's not going to save them. So what do you want people to say? So now you're a fear pusher. Which drug are you dealing here? Because we can't keep up. The one good thing about this is we're really seeing people's true colors and our own true colors. It's kicking up a lot of dust. Maybe us raising our vibration has led to this. Maybe this is what needs to happen. The world is raising in vibration. The children here today could not thrive in a world from yesterday. Like being in a toxic relationship. When one person decides to get it together, either their partner matches them and aligns with them, or they run screaming in the opposite direction. The world is trying to align to this new vibration. So maybe we did it, or maybe we are doing it. Maybe we are helping the world. Maybe we're forming it into a better place for the children that are going to come after us. Maybe we're changing the world to be better. And how do we do that? By making this place more accountable. I'm going to think before I do, because we're all connected. We're finally seeing the boomerang come back around. This is accountability. This is all about accountability. So maybe this is us channeling our divine and us raising the vibrations of the world. The divine is having a worldly experience through us. This is about us recognizing that there is an issue and fixing it. Isn't that what spirituality is about? Looking back and seeing the things that we've done wrong and learning from that, learning lessons from it. What can we learn from this? Instead of just getting down on ourselves and saying, oh my God, we're all going to die. What can we learn from it? Is there anything that we can do to improve upon this situation? And please, you guys, in terms of the vaccination, I'm only going to say this on it. Please use your discernment, because not everybody out here is out to get us. There are people out here, really intelligent, smart people working on building vaccinations and things, and they're trying to help people. They're trying to save people. But there are also other people that are doing this for money or power or whatever the hell it is their agenda is. So also things like color therapy, root chakra work, Keep working on the root chakra. The root chakra deals with our security, safety, survival, our instincts, that fight or flight response. Thankfully, I've been working on my root chakra for months because for years I neglected it and honestly abused it. I didn't even know about chakras and things like that for a lot of my life. I was somebody that heavily needed to work on my root chakra throughout my spiritual journey so far, and I have been for months, because spirit for months was telling me keep working on the root chakra. You guys know I was talking about it. I've been talking about for months on my channel. The root chakra, the lower chakras is everything. Who knew that we were going to be dealing with this in 2020, right? Where it's like we really are, our survival's being threatened, you know? We're being tested right now, and a lot of people are falling for it, and it's okay if you've fallen for it. That's okay. Just come back to center. It's okay. Just come back to center. Ground yourself. So prevent by doing what is best for you. Fear is not prevention or protection, but it is access. It's us dropping our guard completely so we can get harvested. So don't allow that to happen. Just relax, wash your hands, do what you can, keep informed. If the news is scaring you, stop watching it. Use it to stay informed if you need to, but don't allow it to pump fear into you. That's when you know this has gone too far. You need to treat this just like you would a relationship. As long as that person's making you feel good, that's fine. But the second that person starts making you feel drained, stressed out, paranoid, frenzied, worried, anxious, scared, that's toxic. Don't stockpile either, you know? Look out for your fellow counterparts. That the way everyone can get what they need. We have to really take care of everyone, not just ourselves, but everyone. If we take from someone else to make sure that we're good, it's hurting us in the long run. That's what got us here, right? So this is all about accountability. Let's just go ahead and check out these cards. I'm not going to be interpreting them because this video has been long enough and I need to get back to work on these April forecasts, these April horoscopes that I've been working on for you guys. But the very first card that we have here, air element communication. Yeah. Air element to me means it's in the air. This is not just the virus, but fear. Everything is in the air. We need to be really protected right now. 11th house, again, this is more air energy. This is ruled by Aquarius, friends, and 11th house rules the collective. So again, yes, this is in the air. This is surrounded by everyone. I haven't seen these cards yet. Then we have here sun, spirit. Connect back to spirit, you guys. We have to connect back to spirit. Saturn, truth. Yep, we were talking about Saturn earlier in this. 12th house, escape. Look at these cards. Oh my God, this is not about escaping. This is about dealing. We need to deal with this. We need to deal with this, not escape from it. Grand trine, blessings. We can make something good out of this if we realize it. A grand trine is all about realizing that there is harmony working in our lives and tapping into that, capitalizing off of it. South node, life's debts. What did I tell you guys? This is not the virus. The virus isn't karma, but the virus, it honestly, it might be, because it came from like I believe that this virus has gotten so bad because of also global warming. We barely had a winter, honestly. It barely snowed or anything. And it's like the world is, it's changing. It's changing a lot. We have here the next card, Sacrament of Extreme Unction. I don't know what that means, but I'll read the book. Then we have Vulva of Cider. Oh man, I don't know what that is, but it sounds really interesting. I'll read the book on it though for you guys. And then we have Garuda Suparna. Oh my gosh. All right, let me just go ahead and read. All right, so this card here says, your heart knows how to let go so you can find peace. It is time for you to experience spiritual closure. Wow. A beautiful new reality is opening up for you. Entering it requires you to release your attachment to the past. You have been inwardly preparing for a powerful rebirth. Now is the time to trust in what is meant for you and move toward it with an open, trusting heart and peaceful mind. What did I tell you guys, man? It says, cultivate confidence in yourself. You have the inner spiritual power to deal wisely and effectively with any situation. Oh my God. Don't allow anyone to take advantage of your kind nature. Reflect upon what action feels best for you to take and then follow through with decisiveness. Do not allow negativity to get a grip in your life. Positive energy and outcomes are indicated. I don't need to say anything. Your inner spiritual power can heal circumstances in your life. Your inner spiritual power can heal circumstances in your life and our world in ways greater than you realize. Journey within to gain clarity and consciousness and conscious redirection of your inner energies toward what you wish to manifest. Do not try to control what is happening. Instead, work to bring positive influence to bear so that you may contribute constructively towards shaping the outcome for the greatest good. Is this not everything that I just talked about, these 3 cards right here? That's literally the message that downloaded to me. That's wild. That's wild. Ask Spirit for some messages. Spirit came through. All right. Then we have here Ogham, nature, spells, alchemy. This to me, these 2 cards to me, spells, alchemy, and Ogham, nature, sounds a lot like working with nature to get things back on track. Or maybe things are already on track. You know? Then we have here clouds, mystical. Yeah, there's just some things we don't know or understand. For sure. Look at this. Look, psychic protection. Around me now, a shield of gold protecting me strong and bold. And you can use this as a spell to protect yourself. Know that you have protection. Know that you're divine. Then we have here harmony. As I create, I will share. As I create, I will share harmony divine with love and care. Wow. Trust. Do you guys see this? It says trust. I am safe. I am secure. In love I trust. My faith endures. This is beautiful. Look at this. Glamour. Into this mirror I now see the realms of possibility. There's something happening here, you guys. We're not completely out of control. Whatever's happening, it's more than likely meant to happen. And then look at this. We got victory. I shall celebrate and I shall rise. I will let victory make me wise. Yes. Yes. Then we have here thinker, orphaned. Wow. Feeling left alone. These thinker and orphan is us feeling alone, feeling neglected, feeling abandoned, feeling like I don't know what to do. I have to figure this out on my own. And a leg up. You guys, we're going to be more than fine. We're going to be more than fine. I'm going to shuffle 1 card from here just to see what we get. That came out really fast. Okay, home help. Dear God and Archangel Raphael, thank you for giving me the courage to ask for and accept help from you, the angels and others in matters regarding my family and home. The massage. Dear Archangel Raphael, please help me know that I deserve to receive massages and other self-care treatments. Okay, so yeah, make sure that we're taking care of ourselves, right? Under the deck we had here, look at this. Look at this. Stay positive. Dear Archangel Raphael, thank you for helping me be optimistic and take the appropriate action steps that support my health. And then I'm going to shuffle 1 more just to see what we get. Two jumped out, but we have messenger, serious energy, bring harmony and balance. And the season Mintaka. You guys see this? Seeing potential, bringing unconsciousness to light. Like I said, when the sun moved past Saturn and Pluto, that was the ultimate light, meaning the ultimate dark. The ultimate dark is our unconscious, not just the subconscious. That's our unconscious that we're dealing with. And then underneath that deck, we have here, Earth School. You see this? And it says here, life lessons, soul growth, study, higher learning. Beautiful. There's something to learn here. There's something we can learn from here. Oh, let me zoom out. You guys can't even see all these cards. I'm sorry. Because I want you guys to just find some peace in all of this if you can. If you can, okay? So this is all that I'm seeing, you guys, and this is all that I had to say. I just kind of wanted to come up here and offer a little bit of peace, a little bit of positivity, if I can. You have a direct line to the divine. Connect to that. That's where your peace is at. That's where your answers are at, okay? So this is all that I'm seeing today. Thank you guys so very much for tuning in. I pray this reading brought you guys some love, support, clarity, and strength. I want to take this time out to thank your beautiful guides, my beautiful guides, our higher self, amazing spirit itself for these messages today. Hopefully you all come back to visit me sometime soon, but until next time, you guys, please stay safe, stay blessed, stay healthy, keep conquering life in the world, and I'll be back next time, all right? Bye, guys.